All right, well, my name is Ilja Chapman, and I am born and raised in the Netherlands, and I live currently in Key Largo. And I am the founder of Voyage Blue Travel, which is a successful travel agency that I started 11 years ago. And I'm also the managing partner of Travel Resources Group since 2020. It is my pleasure to take you today behind the scenes of our boutique host agency. And I'd like to start by sharing my business story with you, as it paints a picture what the differences are between belonging to a large host company and a boutique host agency. And at the same time, it will also give you understanding why I am so passionate about our boutique host agency and the success of the independent travel advisors that are associated with our agency. I imagine that some of you might relate to my business story. Now, my story is certainly not unique. I've spoken to many independent travel advisors, and a lot of you have similar business stories like me. You might even recognize some of my story in your own entrepreneurial journey, and I hope that my story will help you in your business. So, here goes my story. I launched my business in 2014 while I was working full time as a dive resort manager in Key Largo. I know that most travel advisors start their business part time. I chose to purchase a franchise versus joining a host agency. I was very eager to learn anything there is to learn about the business, and I attended every training out there, registered for many in person workshops. I read every industry magazine from A to Z. I wanted to succeed in my business so badly. I built the foundation of my business. I registered with the state, opened a bank account, set up my home-based business, and set up my email and took all the steps that was needed to build a business. Although it was 11 years ago, I clearly remember the excitement that I felt starting my own business. I did work very long hours at the resort, and the job was very demanding. And because of that stress, I was even more motivated to become my own boss. I truly spent every free minute building my travel planning business. It was so satisfying to attract clients I loved working with. It was so empowering to work following my own procedures, following my own schedule, and it was motivating to have my own voice in my business. As you might know, there is so much to learn. And I also remember when I started how scared I was, how overwhelmed I was at times. There was so much to learn. How to be a solopreneur, what vendors can we work with? I had to learn the software programs offered by the franchise, marketing, sales, client journey, workflow. I had to learn it all. So, luckily, the franchise provided all the workshops covering those topics. To be clear, the difference between starting your business under a host agency versus owning a franchise is that with a franchise, your business branding is taken care of. So I did not have to work on creating a logo and creating my own brands. We also had, through the franchise, a reservation system already, didn't need to worry about that. My email was set up, I had a website, it was all turnkey. And what was the same if I would have chosen a host agency versus a franchise would be that I had access to the education and coaching programs. They all have amazing technology, beautiful marketing pieces. The franchise offered very strong vendor partnerships, top tier commissions levels, I have to say, from their preferred vendors. And I was also part of a very large community of franchise owners, a very large community, I have to say. So the franchise really offered a support, a company behind my business, and I had everything that I would need. But yet, I really felt lost. I didn't feel supported. I didn't feel heard. My vision for my business was not understood. I didn't fit. I found myself learning about vendors that would not fit my ideal client base. I had access to tools and resources that did not fit my business model. And with all the structured support systems the franchise offered, I still had many unanswered questions, and I felt I was knocking on closed doors. To be honest, it really wasn't the franchise that did anything wrong. Simply said, I had a hard time fitting in the community. I didn't fit the box. My business philosophy was outside the box. The franchise didn't feel as a true home for my business. I was missing coaching tailored to my needs. Does that sound familiar? Maybe you feel the same way when you already have started your business. But I was not going to give up. As I mentioned, I was extremely motivated to make my travel planning business a success. And within 3 years of owning my franchise, I reached their rock star level, which means I sold close to $750,000 in travel. That was my sign. I quit my job at the resort, which also meant I left a steady paycheck behind and started working full time in my business. And I'm pretty sure that that's what most travel advisors are looking to do, to go full time in their business. I grew my book of clients and I grew my niche. I increased my annual sales, and in 2020, I was forecasted to reach the 1 million in travel sales. I'm sharing these numbers with you so you can see that it's possible to make money. I brought home around $450,000 in commissions in 2019, and in 2020, I was expected to earn close to $65,000 in commission. How exciting! I was a solopreneur. I was successful. I felt empowered. I was really doing it. Now, remember, I'm sharing my story with you not to brag, but hopefully, hearing my story can help you choose what type of host agency will fit your business. So, let's see what happened next. As a business owner, our journey comes with ups and downs. Remember, I was expected $65,000 in commission for 2020, when in March the entire world shut down. Because of it, I was forced to pivot in my business. And I did see it as an opportunity to finally break away from the franchise community I felt I didn't fit. And although it was so scary, it really felt the right thing to do. I left the franchise, rebranded, and restarted my business with the book of clients that I already had. It was an uncertain time for the entire travel industry, but I hang in there. I had to find a host agency. I did not have my own IATA. I did not have a Florida seller of travel license. I did not have an error and omission insurance. I had nothing of all that. And by leaving the franchise, I also lost the technical support system, my website, my email server, reservation system, marketing program. Oh boy, I had to start all over. I basically had to build up my business from scratch again. I did find a local boutique hosting agency called Travel Resources Group. Now, Travel Resources Group did have the IATA, the seller of travel license, the E&O insurance, and they had the infrastructure to host my newly branded travel planning business called Voyage Blue Travel. At that time, Travel Resources Group hosted 4 independent travel advisors, and I added my business, Voyage Blue Travel. It really was a good fit. The agency was founded in 2006, located in Key Largo, and it was privately and still is privately owned by 2 guys since 2018. I was very fortunate I joined at the right time, as they just lost their host agency manager and they hired me to do the job. So here we are. When I moved my business to be hosted by Travel Resources Group, it was a big step, but I never looked back. Immediately after the move, I realized how much my business could thrive operating in a smaller community. This community would give me tailored support, allow me to work with vendors that suit my business, and operate my business the way I want. You might wonder how big of a step it was. In episode 3 of this webinar series, I will cover how big of a step it actually was to move my business from the franchise to Travel Resources Group, and what the impact was on my business, my clients, my working procedures. It's a lot, but it's possible. I did it. So I really think it should be helpful information in episode 3 to those travel advisors looking to switch between host agencies, or maybe between a franchise and a host agency like I did. My journey, as I told you, has inspired me to support fellow advisors in building their business their way and provide them with an agency that they can call home. As the managing partner of Travel Resources Group, I am determined to meet our travel advisors where they are at and open the doors for them that I often found closed. At Travel Resources Group, we encourage you to build your travel business your way, and we ask you to voice your needs, and we will listen. I don't know about you, but often talking through my ideas, just having a soundboard already helps me moving forward. Just to have somebody to think alongside you who can guide you from their own experience and help you find solutions is huge. All our travel planning businesses are unique, and you should feel confident that you also can think outside the box. If you have a strong affinity for a certain travel niche, we will help you find solutions how to capitalize on that niche. Again, we want our travel advisors to feel at home, as we are a community where you can build your business your way. Having said all this, many of you are wondering probably what a boutique host agency like Travel Resources Group can offer and what we look like. That's why you're here. So let's start by saying one size does not fit all. Each host agency is unique, even when they appear the same. They often offer very similar programs, similar systems, similar commission splits, similar vendor relationships, similar opportunities. However, at the same time, they can be very different. I cannot speak for other host agencies, and I do encourage you to do your own research, ask questions, and look for a host agency that fits your business model, your philosophy, your vision, your goals, and most of all, your vibe and personality. So let's have a peek inside what Travel Resources Group has to offer. I will start by describing our agency. We currently have 15 independent travel advisors under our umbrella. Some sell under our brand, Travel Resources Group, and some use their own brand name. Our goal is 50 independent contractors to sell under our umbrella by 2028. And 50 is the magic number, as we need to know all our advisors personally. So we cannot grow too big. We need to understand the business models of each advisor personally to be able to support them. Now, by growing the community of travel advisors, our sales will increase and we will benefit from higher commission levels with vendors. As you can see here, our support team is small but efficient, friendly, and certainly committed, and it will grow as needed. The advantage of our boutique team is that our support team is in the field with you. We are dealing with vendors. We are dealing with strikes or pandemics. And we understand your day-to-day real challenges and we might already have solutions to your challenges. And if we don't, then we're here to help you figure out together. A few things that are the same between Travel Resources Group as a boutique host agency and a larger host agency is that we are licensed under IATA, and most agencies are. We are, like most agencies, certified under the Florida and Washington Seller of Travel. Travel Resources Group is affiliated with Travel Leaders Network, a consortium many host agencies are affiliated with. And as all host agencies should be, we are a member of ASTA, which is the American Society of Travel Advisors. When you would join Travel Resources Group as an independent travel advisor, you do need to sign an agreement like you would with any other host agency. Our commission splits and monthly fees are very comparable to larger host agencies. You might come across many different commission split structures in your research for host agency, and for us, the key is transparency. In episode 2 of this webinar series, we will highlight more the terms and conditions, and we will discuss how a boutique host agency compares to the large ones with reference to the financial and legal aspects in relation to your business. And I do think that this information will better equip you to make an educated decision what host agency to choose for your business. So let's continue by looking at the support and coaching programs offered by Travel Resources Group, being a boutique host agency. Our advisors all enjoy personalized support and coaching. A coach is someone who provides guidance to a client on their goals and helps them reach their full potential. In my opinion, it is important to have consistency in the way support and coaching is delivered. We pride ourselves to be consistent. And the advantage of our small community is that I know all the advisors personally, and the advisors also know each other. And it's so important because we believe that community is the key to success. So, how does support look like at Travel Resources Group? Well, we have weekly Q&A sessions, and they take an hour, and we all meet via Zoom, and we will discuss there what we're working on, what are our struggles, and of course, we also celebrate our successes together and give each other feedback and listen to each other, because you can always learn from each other. We also have weekly office hours where we have just an open hour where anybody can show up if you have any questions regarding a reservation you're working with, or maybe a marketing plan you like to get some feedback on. We provide a monthly focus hour. And what we do is that we just meet, and it's actually a little bit more than an hour, and we will be working on your business, and we will work on it in silence. We just create that space as an accountability space where you will come and say, okay, I'm really going to work on my bookkeeping once a month, and I do it during the monthly focus hours. Of course, we'll have personal support via email. We have a Facebook support group. You can reach me by phone, text. I mean, we're really there for you. And even after hours, within limits. We offer templated terms and conditions for your clients. You can tailor it to your business. There's so many templates out there. You really will feel supported within our agency. Now, at Travel Resources Group, we also have a well-structured mentoring program. Now, let's start with the definition of a mentor. He or she is someone who shares their knowledge, skills, and experience to help another to develop and grow. So it really is to help another to develop and grow. Now, I personally have had the pleasure of having very valuable mentors during my career, and I feel strongly about the mentoring program offered to our advisors at Travel Resources Group. One of the resources that we offer is the Community Hub, which is filled with templates, knowledge videos, resources, industry news, and all kinds of information that can be used to grow your business. We host a monthly mastermind session where you will sit in the hot seat and you will work on the next 30 days on your goals. So you're not working in your business, but you're working on your business. You will set goals for the next 30 days. How do you get more leads? How do you what education do you need to follow to get a certain market, reach a certain market? So it's really focused on your business, and it is your monthly session. Then I also host quarterly one-on-ones where we set your goals per quarter and see where you're at, what can you do different, what worked, what didn't work, and it's all about your business. So you're going to be the CEO of your own business. We also offer monthly deep dive sessions where we cover different business related topics, And we also invite vendors to do presentations at our agency through Zoom. And they're often monthly, so at least 12 vendors a year, but we've also actually had more than 12 last year. And it's good, so you can stay up to date what's happening, what are the latest promotions, and what is the latest in for the vendors that's going on. Now, with any business, technology is, of course, very important. And in this day and age, it's constantly changing, as you might know, and we have a lot of options. Now, all host agencies out there will have some kind of technology package that they offer. Some created their own, and the smaller ones like us, we use third-party providers for our software. So I am the first one to say that the technology package that we offer is not the state of the art. However, it works, and we are always looking to add on to it and improve it. But it really works, and if you take the time to learn, then it will really help you. So the most important software that we use is TESS, which is provided by Travel eSolutions. It is our reservation system. It keeps track of your clients' details, their trips, bookings, payments made. It sends out automated reminders. You can use it as a calendar. It has a task list that you can activate per trip. And most of all, it will keep track of your projected commission. And it is an easy software for us to allocate the incoming commissions to you as well, which is super important as we pay, obviously, every month the commissions. I already mentioned our TRG Community Hub, which is filled with knowledge videos. It's built on a SharePoint site, which is from Microsoft, and it really makes it easy to communicate with our entire community. All our advisors are listed on a website landing page hosted by the consortia that produces leads specified per advisor. So you create your own profile and clients will find you through that landing page. Another useful digital tool is our vendor notebook, where you will find all vendors used. We don't only offer preferred vendors. If you have a vendor you like to work with, we will work with you and vet them and see how we can work with them. And this year we introduced We Travel, which is a software that will help our advisors with their group bookings and promoting their group bookings. So again, right, we're always adding on new software where possible. And for those who are already working in the industry, you might wonder if we offer any itinerary building software. Well, TESS does have an itinerary builder included in it, and some of our advisors are using Access, which is a software that offers a travel app for their clients. And this is not included in the package we offer yet, but you will get a discount if you would pursue to use Access for your client workflow. At Travel Resources Group, we ask that all new travel advisors joining our agency to take the time to follow the startup roadmap and to complete the onboarding and bootcamp sessions we created in-house. The roadmap is shown here, and it consists of 4 onboarding episodes, which is really to build your business foundation, and 6 bootcamp episodes covering topics to help you grow your business. And even if you've worked as a travel advisor in the past or you already have started your travel planning business, we know you will benefit from this information as a refresher. And I will be really surprised if you didn't find a few new nuggets you can implement in your business. The roadmap is a program we release week by week, and it requires self-study. And then we meet weekly to recap the module from the previous week. And we have integrated also some courses from the training library of Travel Leaders Network, our consortia, and we co-branded an entire module created by Steph Lee and her sister of Host Agency Reviews. The modules and its supporting documents are available on the TRG Community Hub as an ongoing resource for all our travel advisors. It has a lot of information in there. Now, listening to me, I hope you have a better idea what a boutique host agency has to offer. And while you might wonder if Travel Resources Group could be a fit for your travel planning business, do we know what travel advisors are best served at Travel Resources Group? As I said earlier, one size does not fit all, and size does matter. So like in our travel planning business, is not every client served best working with us. So what I mean, if I give an example of Voyage Blue Travel, we do not serve families with small children very well. It is just not our niche, and families are not our expertise. So for your success and for the success of our agency, it's important that we all understand what is expected from each other. We feel that travel advisors that will thrive in our community when they enjoy being part of a smaller community. So you will thrive if you allow us to know your name, that you allow us to know what you're working on, and that we know, for example, your cat's name. We want to get to know to you. We're part of the same family. And our travel advisors really enjoy being connected. They want to participate in the sessions. They want to show up. They stay in touch, and we will know when you're sick. We will know when something is happening in your family. Again, we are a community. Our travel advisors enjoy being part of the solution, having the voice at the table. We want to hear from you. What can we do different? How can we improve? We want to hear from you. And our travel advisors thrive as they appreciate feedback and they are generous in sharing with their peers. They commit to work following a clear business model and they all have a vision. And last but not least, the travel advisors at Travel Resources Group like to have fun with their business. What really matters for us is you. The success of your travel planning business is what really matters, however that success looks like. In our agency, you and your business are center point. We encourage you to share what your vision is for your travel business so we can support you and help you realize that dream. We ask questions to learn where do you need assistance? What way is the best way to communicate with you? What date is the best day to meet? Where do we need to help you with more knowledge? What do you need in your business to thrive? What really matters is community. A community where you have a voice at the table, where your questions are being answered, a community where you will receive honest feedback and you're being asked to share your knowledge, experience, your skills. A community where you feel at home, a community that feels like a family. That's what we're looking for, and that's what we're building here at Travel Resources Group. And we can, because we're a boutique host agency. So if my story today resonates with you and you're curious to learn more about Travel Resources Group, then I encourage you to register for episode 2 and 3 of this webinar series to even better understand what a boutique host agency like Travel Resources Group has to offer. And I think we're now going to a few questions. I've seen a few questions come in that I like to address. One of the questions is if you can operate your business under our umbrella using your own brand name, or do you need to use Travel Resources Group's name? Absolutely. We even encourage all our advisors to use their own brand name, as we feel that it's your business. You have to put your stamp on it. So if you can operate it under your name, even better. Are we an MLM? No. An MLM is a multi-level marketing company, and we are in business to help you grow your travel business. We don't even allow you to bring on associates if you have reached a certain level of travel sales. Yeah, good question. I know there's a lot of concern about that. Another question I see is regarding the commission split that we offer. Well, to answer that, we really need to start the conversation as it's the entry level split really differs from a newbie to the industry to an advisor that already has an active book of clients. What I can say about our commission structure is that your split will increase as you hit certain revenue levels. So, but I'm happy to explain that to you in a call. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. No, I think those are all the questions for today. So thank you so much for being here today, whether it was live or some of you will be watching this in the recording. I love to hear from you. I love to answer your questions and learn about your story as well. You can reach out to me and my team to set up an acquaintance call to share your story with us, for us to explore together what type of agency will fit your travel business best. You can set up a call at our trghostagency.com website. You can email me at admin@travelresourcesgroup.com, and let's see if I can answer your questions and find some solutions for you. I wish you very well in your business. The travel industry is a wonderful industry to work in. It's often hard and tedious, but the reward of seeing the world through the eyes of your clients and maybe even the ability to travel yourself absolutely makes it worth our while. Thank you so much for today.